What the hell was that last night, guys? I have no idea. That was honestly just completely interesting to watch. We have DZ here walking around confused still. I think he lost a few brain cells. But guys, we have a lot to break down today. We have the PCE report. We have Bitcoin options expiring. We have our price predictions for 2024. And most importantly, we're going to be talking about what happened at this debate. What does it mean for markets? And why is the stock market pumping while Bitcoin is dumping, guys? I'm excited to be here today on the ones and twos. We, of course, have DZ here, and we have Drew behind the scenes, ready to jump in here. Dude, how are you guys feeling? What was that last night? Can you guys... I'm still discombobulated.
Well, Drew, you already did a morning stream. What was the vibe of the chat?
Just disillusioned. There is no good options. Honestly, bro, like I'm like cut between going for Trump or RFK. I'm trying to keep an open mind. If they had a reasonable Democrat came out, I'm trying to leave conversation open because I'm of the opinion once conversation starts, chaos follows. We got to hear our neighbors out and what they're thinking. Really, some of the most aggravating things that I heard were the catastrophic ideas of the climate and a lot of things left unsaid about what they're actually going to do about these huge problems with the immigration, all the things. It's just a lot left on the table, a lot of arguing, and I couldn't stop staring at Joe Biden's butt chin. It was very distracting.
Yeah, he has a strong dimple chin, that's for sure. A lot of people are talking about how RFK's debate maybe even got more views. I think that's largely, considering what platform you're looking at. I think the vast majority of people watch the CNN debate on television. Yeah,
and if you look through YouTube and add up all the channels, there was a lot. But RFK still did crush it. But I actually heard that Joe Biden keeps his notes in his butt chin. So that's what that's for. But guys, put 1 in chat if you think Trump won. Put 2 in chat if you think Biden won that debate. And put 3 if you think RFK. I'm actually curious to see who watched it because he did bring up some really good points about Bitcoin, the economy, and our markets.
He's the only one
it was
that
hosted on Twitter.
He was the only one that talked about Bitcoin.
Yeah, there was 0 crypto questions at this year's debate, and a lot of people are asking the question, is crypto still a number or a top 5 topic? Last night, maybe suggesting that it won't be. So, can that narrative shift?
I mean, they talked about like 3 things last night. I feel like we were trying to really get through it, but looking at this golf,
economy,
that's how it should. What was Dave Portnoy? We're gonna pull up the clip here in just a second on what Dave Portnoy said. But we got a lot of 1s and 3s in the chats. No 2s, really, guys? No 2s at all. That kind of makes sense here. Maybe you just forgot to put them, just like the same representative. But here we have Bitcoin sitting at $61,000, getting a little bit of pullback in these markets. We have Ethereum now at $3,427. Solana down to 142. XRP is just stagnant here at 47 cents. Dogecoin 12 cents. Cardano 38 cents. Really pulling back here. Top 24-hour movers. We have Akash Network, Ethereum name service. Chainlink getting a little bit of life, not too much life, but Chainlink is, I do believe. Shout out to my Chainlink Marines out there, guys. I mean, that is by far one of the best projects, I think, to be dollar cost averaging in this downtrend. Also just goes to show that, when you're a top mover and Bitcoin's struggling, it just shows a lot of support. I see some people in the chat saying Ondo. I think the tokenization effort is just really showing its support here on these markets right now. Top losers in the last 24 hours, well, not looking so hot. And actually, this is a little bit wrong because, I mean, yes, it's the top 100 projects, but the top losers actually are going to be
Americans.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You're going to say coins. Oh, okay.
You're still feeling that, aren't you? Still feeling that one. Yeah, no, it's that was really who lost the debate was we the people. Yeah. But Fetch AI here, $1.43. Curious to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear to see why Fetch AI. It's not so much the merger, it's Coinbase dropping support for the merger migration. And so a lot of people thought, well, I have some of these coins on Coinbase. I can just kind of set it, forget it. I don't have to worry about it. Everything's going to be done on the back end. They see what's happening. Coinbase not doing that bridge or not, handling that transfer. So you know what? It's just too much confusion. I'm just going to go ahead and sell my token.
Yeah, and I'm just that guy that name one merger that's been successful in this market that didn't have a buy the rumor, sell the news afterwards.
Let's see. You have GameStop and that crypto token. No, there really is.
Maybe.
I was
like, wow, did he actually throw one at me? Yeah, no. So
LimeWire, remember?
Yeah, LimeWire, remember? Yeah, I wonder if Coinbase shorted this though before they did that. You ever think about that?
Now that's an insider.
You ever think about
move.
that?
Well, Coinbase is under a lot of SEC scrutiny. Coinbase and was it OpenSea? Because they are large American institutions, those employees have already been slapped on the wrist. I can't imagine that Brian Armstrong isn't watching those wallets.
Yeah, and Coinbase did just come out with breaking news from that might have been yesterday. You guys probably did cover this. They actually sued the SEC back for market manipulation or whatever was involved with the lawsuit. which was there anything crazy I missed this week? Because I was out filming season 2 of Killer Whales.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell us, how that went. Seth Shepard just kind of personifying what I was saying. I sold my fetch, don't want to deal with it. That's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah, I sold all the AI. We sold it all in March. We haven't really jumped back in. But I will have to say this, chat. I am looking at Render. I am looking at Near. And I do believe AI tokens and DPIN, there's a lot of big investments coming from VCs right now into that network. So I don't know if it's Q3 or Q4 this year. I still think it's going to be a really, really strong narrative that comes out further this year.
I got a question for you, Josh.
Yeah.
Another thing that aggravated me is not a single conversation about the AI development and the actual parameters for how we're going to roll out AI into society, right? Like some of the biggest advancements in the human race are happening right now. And we're sitting here watching these, figures basically just create a big hoopla, and they're not conversating about one of the most important advancements to human history. Why are they leaving it alone? Do they think it's something that people don't care about? Is there a nefarious plan? I really worry about how AI is going to be rolled out. I wonder about the future of my children and the allowances that they'll have in society under an automated system of control. And it's not even talked about.
It's a great question. I mean, Larry Summers has got your back, so don't worry. He's on the board of Microsoft AI. But for anybody that's like brand new, that is worried about AI, what that rollout's going to look like, a lot of people are saying that we're in a bubble with NVIDIA. It came out. It's now like a top company in the world. It surpassed Apple and Google like at the snap of a finger over the last year. They keep beating Wall Street's expectations, and they keep screaming bubble, bubble, bubble. But you have to realize what you just brought up here, Drew, is, how is this going to roll out? And how it's rolling out is through iOS 18. So you guys don't have to, a lot of people don't realize this. They're thinking there might be this peak in this AI sector, the Magnificent Seven. But what happens when everybody now has a language model on their phone and they're able to do their job 4 times faster than somebody using an iPhone 13 or 12 or 11 or 10? It forces everybody. It's going to force these companies, everybody to transfer over into those new services, into those applications. And so there's a lot of speculation around the revenue coming out of Q3 specifically as you get that iPhone dropping, later this year. And actually, it's going to be Q4. So we might have a very strong Q1. And honestly, for that reason, so I think AI is going to come back. I just don't think it's going to be as expected as people, they're expecting all this hype. I think the really big mover for crypto specifically is going to be the decentralized infrastructure, and that's going to come from Sora Venture, or not Sora Venture, but Sora, the video platform where you're going to be able to now use AI to create videos. You have Marvel trying to integrate it, Disney integrating it. We don't even know what the expectation of that or the amount of consumption that's going to come from that. How fast is that going to scale a lot of these editing platforms, et cetera? And when you have all that rendering need come into here, we're going to need that capacity. You're going to need that storage capacity. You're going to need those services, and that could spark it into Q1. So it's very hard to predict these markets right now. We have the presidential election. We have, 3 different forever wars taking place. We have, supply chain shocks with oil that people are concerned with. There's a lot of things that are taking place.
The liquid gold underneath our feet, as Trump was calling it there. You said Sora is going to be the catalyst for the next AI pump. Let me just kind of break that down, unpack it just in a couple sentences here. I think Sora, that's the text to video. I think you're going to have all of a sudden, it's going to be like the gates open and you're going to wake up one morning and there's going to be 25 awesome AI videos where Incredible Hulk is in a lightsaber battle with Darth Vader and, all these like really cool ideas. And then they'll just kind of explode over the next week and then we'll get used to it. But during that period, I think all AI tokens, stocks, and et cetera are all going to pump.
So it's not over if you're holding that bag. That's hopefully we'll get to there. But, going to the first articles here, guys, we have to address this. We have to address what happened last night. We can't, we can't ignore the giant elephant in the room here. Trump ended up releasing a brutal 95-second ad of Joe Biden's debate. So in case you guys missed it, here's in summary, only 90 seconds. We're going to watch this together. Pretty much all of the reactions, at least from Joe Biden. And then we're going to look at a lot of the reactions from Trump. But here's your 90 seconds.
Both, however, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with
the music lets me know I should be scared.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look.
So is Jason Voorhees walking around in the studio?
We finally beat Medicare. We're trying to provide housing for Black Americans. The impact on the choice, the idea that they're gonna. I'm proposing that everybody the millionaires pay 1%. 1%. So no one after, I've not raised
Very valuable
the
insight.
cost of Social Security for anybody. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And
They got him laughing right there.
The ability of Medicare for the ability for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billion.
We have that one killed. We have 1,000 trillionaires in America.
Yeah, and I like how Trump was like, hey, who's a trillionaire? I'm only a billionaire.
Yeah.
I want to know.
He's like, I underestimated Mar-a-Lago.
It's only valued 18 million. It's sad what has happened to that Florida real estate.
Yeah, just
man.
so
That stuff has
petrifying.
gone way
Yeah,
down.
I got goosebumps from secondhand embarrassment 4 or 5 times. Yeah, it was. Did anybody? 1 in chat if you understood that. 2 if you didn't. You know, I'm going to be under the 1.5. I mean, I heard some words, so I can't say I didn't understand it completely.
Yeah,
but what was he referring to? That's another question. So 1 in chat if you heard him, 2 if you did not.
So, some people are just saying, it's a little bit past their bedtime. Well, they could have drank some coffee. And when I drink my coffee, I do like to, on the weekend, sometimes add a little sugar. And I'm just going to use sugar in the raw.
I don't know why chat loves that one, too.
You get 1 a day.
That's how I feel this morning. I think he's under control. Maybe. Well, that is, we were expecting at least some conversation around the future of our economy. There's been a lot of talks of tokenization, a lot of talks of, okay, what does crypto in America look like? You have Trump now campaigning for it. He might be speaking at Bitcoin Nashville next month. 2 out of 5 voters in the United States are actually worried about the future of our economy. Surprise, surprise. And all of them are looking to position themselves towards a pro-crypto initiative. They are starting to realize, wow, there's actually a lot of value to this. As a store of value, we're tired of inflation. Tokenizing these markets will be way better for our banking system and solve a lot of the solutions here. But crypto went completely unmentioned in this debate. And I don't need to go into this article because showing you that 90-second clip is why it wasn't mentioned in this debate. I mean, there was pretty much 3 key points they kept covering. The primary one was, of course, immigration, some of the forever war talks. And it was just overall embarrassing to watch. The only president or the presidential candidate that was talking about crypto was somebody that they didn't even let up on stage with Joe Biden and Trump. And that was going to be RFK. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this, Drew, because I know you were watching quite a bit of it. And I don't know if you saw some of it too, DZ. What were your thoughts on RFK's integration of the debate? I think they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, man. I mean, I liked RFK's moderator. He was cutting him off right at 2 minutes. RFK tried to go over because it was his own platform and he had like that chance to kind of, talk longer than the 2 minutes. The moderator cut him off. So the moderator asked some kind of loaded questions to try to tee him up as looking like the good guy, though. So it had its own design of "look at me," let's.
Why are you so awesome on the environment?
Pretty much, and so and I love RFK. I've followed RFK for 15 years, maybe 20 years now on the medical side, and really I have a lot of respect for him. It's just seeing that, the catastrophic no one answered how they're going to fix the immigration deal, right? That's like the ugly, the real elephant in the room, the 20 million of military age, very capable physically people that we now have to figure out what to do with, put them into the workforce or whatnot. No one wanted to answer how we're going to actually deal with that. And, on top of that, acknowledging the climate stuff, no one wants to go into the past. We've been playing God for 20, 30 years on that end. And we think that we knew the results that were going to come. Yeah, the climate is changing. Maybe we should stop changing the climate.
You know what I would say the number one issue that wasn't mentioned, though? I would say even bigger than that is the debt. They did not talk about it.
They will never talk about that. Yeah. Now, Biden did say something. He said your deficit was the worst under Trump's administration, which I was like, I don't know. We hit all-time highs.
So if you look,
you're looking at technicals,
if you actually look at the numbers, 2017, 2018, 2019 kind of came in line with the norm, and then 2020 was such a large
They keep using the
expenditure.
COVID, yes.
So I mean, he's factually correct.
Yeah, I think it's so unfair, but it doesn't matter because look at the polls. What's happening here today, guys? Breaking the odds of Donald Trump winning the 2024 election now has surged to new highs of 63%. So it is very obvious now the trend's going to be okay. Biden very clearly, if you watched even CNN afterwards, they were in distraught. They didn't know what they'd do. They were like, okay, we can't even talk good about how bad this was. They tried, be like, oh, well, Trump actually didn't do so well. And it's just like, no, they tried digging themselves out of this grave. So the question is, are they going to actually keep Biden in the position of the primary candidate for this election coming up? And now there's a lot of talks of maybe Newsom or Michelle Obama or someone stepping in that would have an actual chance at being able to win this election.
Well, you know, I think that's very disrespectful to Kamala, and I think she's going to be very upset at that. And I think she's saying, no, it should be me.
Who is that?
She's
what has
known
she done?
For moving her shoulders like this when she laughs.
I still don't know who that is.
She's also known for locking up a lot of pot smokers.
That's so true. What? How many Americans was it, or Californians as senator?
We have some in the chat. I've been watching you guys, so
they're watching from jail right now. They're like, I got stuck 20 years ago for having
we do have
a gram of weed.
Why? While one is not medically qualified, the other is not morally qualified. Pick your poison. I guess they're talking about the first ladies there.
Maybe no, they're talking about the actual candidates. They're talking about
it's a tough spot, man. Like, and RFK brought up the deficit in a big way. Honestly, if I was Trump and I had to deal with the economy at large falling like it did when COVID, a lot of people were earnestly scared. I mean, we sit here, we have all the dust settled. We can say, oh no, it didn't worry me. A lot of people were really worried about that virus when it came out. And then the dust settled. We have results. We have more data to operate off of. We know we made some huge mistakes. It's about owning the mistakes that was made and digging us out of this hole that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And I wish that there was a financial path to do that that's being laid out. But
or if that at least our presidential candidates would have talked about that. That would have been nice.
Huge.
Who would have thought that should have been discussed? Well, we have breaking news as the S&P 500 futures surge toward record high as markets begin pricing in a Trump 2024 election victory. So with now a 63% chance of Trump winning that elections and the odds of President Biden winning a second term are down 15%, the S&P is up 15 points today. And actually, it's up now, I believe, more than that as we speak. And this is going to be due to core PCE dropping here today. So PCE inflation report came out as there. This is a headline indicator for the Federal Reserve. If you guys didn't know this, a lot of people talk about the CPI, but when they actually make their adjustments and their predictions on the future of these economies, whether they're going to ease these interest rates or whatnot, it's going to actually come from core PCE, which allows them to manipulate data just a little bit more. But this actually dropped today at the slowest pace since 2021. So we've been seeing a very positive impact now. If you could pull up NASDAQ actually right now.
S&P 500, it is an all-time high. We went up past that 15. We are now up 34 points, 5,517. And in that tweet, it was saying 54.98, and right now 55.17. So yeah, you go to the max chart, all-time highs for the S&P 500. You said check out the NASDAQ as well?
Yes. And the reason why I'm having you pull up the NASDAQ, if you guys didn't know, NASDAQ is going to be highly correlated to Bitcoin's price action. So if we have it on trading, I think I'm usually logged into your trading view, which is why I didn't want to pull it up.
It's a little bit of a pullback from, I would say, an hour ago or so, not even that, from 10:15 a.m., so about 35 minutes ago. Also, looks like it's flirting with these new all-time highs.
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull this up, NDQ.
Something about this, I am a prepper, right? A lot of people know that I have been
so he basically like the chicken cutlets and you season them and you marinate, right?
I mean, it's multifaceted, but like, the big .com bubble where revenues really decoupled from the valuation of the stock market at large is, in my opinion, what helped the big collapse of that .com bubble happen. Right now, it plays in the AI thing. Like, the top earners are these tech companies, and the revenue is behind it. It's backing it. I don't think we're at risk of this big .com burst yet. But when people look at that new all-time highs being created all the time in the S&P 500, I continually hear that question. We have not seen a divergence from the revenue yet, but I'm watching out for it over the next few years. Yeah,
and I'm showing what that looks like. I'm going to show what it looks like in terms of comparison with Bitcoin and the NASDAQ here on the charts. So if you guys didn't know, just follow this historically. I'm going all the way back to 2022 here with the first downside in Bitcoin's markets. You're going to look at it compared to this NASDAQ. It's looked at as a risk-on asset. It's looked at as a tech stock. And so it trades as one. So if you look at this, every time you see the NASDAQ jump, Bitcoin would jump. Every time the NASDAQ fell, Bitcoin would fall dramatically. It's like an 80, 90% correlation at this point. Even this entire bull run that we've had from $15,000, we're now at the point, though, where for the first time, we're getting this massive divergence taking place on this chart. And with the macroeconomic data coming out, seeing these PCE reports being released, it does make me expect that we're more than likely going to see a pattern trade play out sort of like this with Bitcoin, where after the options expire today, we're going to talk about that. We're talking $10 billion in options expiries today. I do believe July is looking to be like a very, very bullish month for that price action. So we're going to get to that in just a moment, but look at that correlation. It is, you can't even, it is identical. It is identical.
At the same time, we got the M2 money supply really starting to open the floodgates there.
Yeah, they're starting
we're really
to print
setting
money.
up a great setup for Bitcoin.
So I have a question for chat here. First and foremost, make sure you guys smash that like button, guys. Let's hit that 300 like mark here today. Appreciate you guys all for being here. Much love for all the support. But I have a question for y'all. How long until Biden is replaced? Now, I'm going to let chat decide.
Well, you know,
okay?
there's a deadline.
A
40
deadline.
days, 39 days because of Ohio's Ohio ballot rules.
It's
So
39 or 38?
I think it's 39 today.
Okay, so we
It was
have
40 yesterday.
barely over a month
Mhm.
before they have to decide this. So you're looking pretty much the end of July, early August for this. So how long? We have tomorrow, 1 week. It's on the chart right here. Tomorrow, 1 week. Convention, he stays.
Okay.
So we have 4 options. I'm going to let chat decide this. We're going to vote on this together. But tomorrow, 1 week, convention, or he stays here. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this in the chat as you guys smash that like button. This is interesting because I'm going to ask you guys something. If he is replaced, let's say because we all know that Biden's terrible for crypto. I mean, he's tried gaslighting Americans, but he's the one that's empowered Elizabeth Warren. He's the one that instated, of course, Gary Gensler, who's literally only sued and wasted millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money. They've lost lawsuit after lawsuit against the crypto industry. They want to enforce central bank digital currencies. I've helped fight with Florida Blockchain Business Association.
Yeah, getting
to stop
chastised
that.
by the judges, you know, for crossing lines.
I can't name one good thing about digital currencies in the United States with that administration. So if he were to be replaced, would it be bullish or bearish for crypto?
Oh, it's going to be very, very bullish, and especially for the coins that are on the bubble, like uncertainty, where, you know, can it get an ETF? It might get an ETF, but we know it can't get an ETF with Gary Gensler. But if Gary Gensler's out, then the ETF green light is lit. So, you know, a Solana, a Avalanche, you know, maybe even a Polkadot and a Cardano, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, those coins are really going to have a really, really good move to the upside.
So
Also, real quick, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
If they were named in the SEC lawsuit against Binance or Coinbase, there's a short list of coins there. They're all going to pump as well.
I do actually very much agree with that because there was how many 69 in the original lawsuit, which is such a weird number.
Yeah,
but
then the other one had a smaller list. It was like 9 or 10 or 15
Might have been like
maybe.
40,
The
yeah,
Coinbase was a short list. The Binance one was a larger list. All those coins are going to have a really good day.
What about you, Drew? Because I mean, we're talking replacements. My thoughts would be the only person that has a chance at beating Trump would probably be Newsom. I don't see somebody who's completely failed California and like has indebted them immensely. Like just walk in LA. Like we were in LA, prime like nice areas of LA. We were like walking 2 blocks to our hotel. We were like, nah, we'll get an Uber because you just don't feel safe, right? So
Is it because
that
of
somebody,
like David Dobrik driving Teslas very fast? Why didn't you feel safe?
There's so much money and so much safety and it just degenerates. No, it's because, guys, you're worried that some homeless man is going to just spit on you and spray paint at you. Like it's just a weird, it's terrible. It's terrible. But what about you, Drew? What are you looking at here?
That though, you know, that they're like, hey, I'm going to LA.
I'm like,
now.
please, I want to
This whole situations give me really weird vibes because the Dems are acting like they've already got it figured out. It almost feels like they're just leaving Joe out to dry, committing elder abuse over and over again. And I think that actually, you know, I'm a little bit more jaded because of 2020, but I've seen them rolling out the conversation and trying to set up the stage to do it once again through a new hot new item that they're releasing. And, you know, I'm going to be really thankful to have an election. I'll just say it that way. I'm going to be really thankful to be able to go to the polls and vote. I'm worried about it not being an option in an emergency usage being used to basically stop the show. So
Senza goes, I've always wanted Hep C. You know, hey, look, you got to spend 24 hours in LA. Just go lick a couple walls. You got it. But look at this, guys. We're going to click on convention. Chat was right. So everybody in chat wanted to put convention. It seems like 36% out of 2,000 votes are looking at that convention. The following one is going to be actually only 1 week. That is actually insane to see there. Odds of there is now bets taking place on Polymarket. Odds of Biden dropping out continue to soar. There's now a 34% chance from 1% just 24 hours ago.
Yeah. So
that is insane.
The markets are really moving, and you know, follow the money if you really want to see what people are saying. I wouldn't trust, you know, maybe a headline or an article.
Yeah. Here's Newsom right now. This is from David Sachs. He said, I'm ready to play. So David Sachs believes that Newsom is going to be that person to be put. And if you were watching the interviews last night, he immediately came out. They needed to do damage control. So they put Kamala Harris. She gibbered on for like whatever she said. No one watched that. Nobody watches her. Nobody even knows what she does. But For Newsom, he came out on multiple different, I think it was like CNBC, like he came on multiple different, was interviewed and questioned, is he going to replace him? And he would just laugh with his hysterical, political, evil smile, his handsome
he's a
smile.
very, very slick politician.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I don't think you're going to find many California residents, especially those who have left the state in the last 4 years, who would say he did a good job. So the question is, can they...
He's the perfect liar.
I hate the word gaslight, but can they convince people like, no, what are you talking about? We did an excellent job in California. That will be the narrative. Some number of people will believe that.
He'll be like, housing's at all-time highs.
Yeah,
I've never made people richer. You know, like whatever
TVs
it is.
are cheap, and you know,
who knows?
Can you go to Walgreens and buy toothpaste without getting a door unlocked? No, but hey, everything's fine.
Well, sorry for the Joe Biden holders out there for the political fi out here, Polyfi. Solana meme coin Bowden has dropped over 40% during the presidential debates.
I think the
taking
dropped
quite a
85%. So we have another channel, Degen Alpha, and I believe Taco is going to go over the VP candidate coins that have all plummeted, and you might be able to get some of these candidate coins for pennies on the dollar. Where the whole thesis is, if you buy a Vivek, if you buy a Scott, if you buy a whomever it might be, and then they're announced as the VP, you get like a 10x.
That is true. And I do think there's a lot of speculation on Vivek right now, especially with the moderations that have been going on. But we have, political fi, Polyfi, your meme coins tanked during the Trump versus Joe Biden presidential debate. The Joe Biden meme coin was hardest hit, falling over 53%. Of course, you saw Vivek and all those other ones. Yes, for the audience watching, there's meme coins that people are trading consistently on these that are just completely volatile. But MAGA, it did like 100x.
Yeah,
you 100x.
I mean, like in the Politify tokens, like I have Vivek, and then I've been looking at a couple other Vivek type tokens. I'm going to spread out and basically just treat it as meme coin roulette on the people that I think are the most likely to get chosen as Trump's VP pick. Just to basically position myself, I put in 100, maybe $200 in each different one. Let them cook. Some of them go and they 6x overnight. Then you wake up and you're doing well. But then they drop by 85%, like DZ says. So it's, please take this with a grain of salt. Like in the basement, we're always looking at these things. We're getting into them. Some of the bags turn into tens of thousands of dollars. Most of them go to zero. So
I put up a Vivek. It's actually down 82% in the past 24 hours. So there's going to be a lot of coins like this. They all pretty much fell 80, 90%. I'm thinking I should speculate, maybe, I don't know, a couple $100, not like that, maybe 20, 50, maybe $100. Maybe on the stronger conviction VP candidates.
So let's get some charts action here. Let's get to the options. Let's get to the charts here. So we got some options expiring, which we covered just a little bit here. Here it is. This is the options article I want to pull up. Well, Bitcoin bulls or bears benefit from this week's 9.25 billion Bitcoin options expiry. Now, from this, they gave it quite a few. They said maybe, maybe not, or yes. They didn't really give an option. They just wanted to show what were the most likely scenarios. So between $57,000 and $60,000, if Bitcoin were to drop below 60K today, this is all today, guys. This happens at I want to say like 4 p.m. I forget the options time if you want to look that up. But overall, it's sometime in the next few hours. There are 660 calls versus 14,850 puts. The net result favors the put sell options by $820 million. However, if Bitcoin stays at the current price, which right now, let me get a good little refresh right here. We're probably at 60,800. So it's battling these numbers. Market makers are battling with these right now. If it stays above 60,000, that is what bulls need. Bulls need to see that support is sustained at $60,000. We're looking at 3,900. So we're jumping almost 5x, 7x actually, 3,910 calls versus 11,140 puts.
9 hours. 8 hours and 58 minutes.
8 hours and 58 minutes. We got 9 hours here. The net result, guys, would be 430 million. Between 62,000 and 64,000, there are 5,220 calls. Which would put us at 215 million essentially. So it looks like you want to close the daily above 60. But if we do see these options expire, that is where that's the max pain. The closer we are to $55,000, that will be the max pain for all of the bulls that have been placing massive bets over the last 2 months since the Bitcoin halving, right? Bitcoin halving ended up being a huge buy the rumor, sell the news, like it has been every single cycle. So this could be a time to accumulate pretty heavily. Now, what I want to show you guys here is, well, a lot of people are coming out. They're going, oh, maybe 49K Bitcoin, maybe 35K Bitcoin, maybe, once we fall below, we're done. It's over. Again, I already showed you the comparison to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's performing bullish. We have great inflation numbers that are coming out, which shows us, and in my opinion, guys, we're going to have higher interest rates for longer. We have, money that's probably stimulus that's going to be injected into this economy. Jerome Powell has been very, very clear on his policies. He is not. They want to get down to 2%. So I don't expect to pivot at all until at least Q4. And you may only get one interest rate cut. It seems to be favoring that result. So when we pull up our liquidation maps, I want to pull up the 30-day here and see what it looks like on the long-term time scale. So what does it look like for the month of July? Well, as you notice, there's actually going to be a significant amount of short positions now on the market. Retail is starting to get very, very, very scared. And that tends to be a time when you want to start going, okay, well, while everybody is fearful, you might want to start being greedy. You know, Warren Buffett's famous line, which is be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. What we're looking at here is nearly $9 billion now in short positions opening up above us with only like roughly, I don't even know, 1.5 billion below us. So market makers are going to be more inclined to push that price to the upside after these options expire. So this is incredibly bullish. I have to shout out Tim from Investing Bros. They were talking about that max pain point at 55K, expecting a bit of a pullback here on the charts. That's exactly what we've seen play out since $72,000. So I wouldn't get too bearish in the short term just yet because we are having a mass amount of liquidations open up above us. And I am going to pull up one more chart here, which is going to be the liquidation heat map. If you guys pull out, you know, this chart, this is a great chart. 24 hours, we are eating through all of the liquidations below us. We're pretty much there at 60K. We have a mass amount opening up at 62,000 now right above us. And again, if we zoom out, let's go to 1 month. Let's just start looking at a couple of these charts. What does it look like? You're going to notice that all the liquidity is now above us, 64,740. We have 69,353. We have 72,961. We are more and more likely to push higher here and get another leg up in the near term. Now, I am not under the, you know, let's get some Bitcoin price predictions in the chat, guys. Let me know what your Bitcoin price predictions are for 2024. What price do you think it's going to hit by the end of this year in December?
$95,000.
On the dot. Suspiciously round number.
Yes. $95,420.69.
Like that is, I do like that. That's a meme.
Number.
That's a meme.
Yeah.
What about you, Drew? What are you looking at the end of this year?
Oh, end of the year.
Yeah.
I'd say about 85K. I'm going to go 85K.
85. So going a little bit more conservative.
Yeah.
I'm going to be somewhere under the position of $80,000 to $90,000. I think honestly, I think the presidential election might be like a buy the rumor, sell the news, and we might get a bit of a dip afterwards.
Yeah.
But I honestly have no idea how these markets going to react because, especially if we have a new candidate, we don't even know what will happen. If they decide to replace, like, oh, Joe Biden's not going to run, and that was a new candidate, that can completely restructure what we believe will happen on the future of the
also,
economy
Trump's
here.
VP could, make a big difference there as well.
Yes.
It's Vivek, it's going to be more pro Bitcoin versus maybe someone more traditional. You did say something about Bitcoin. What are the markets thinking? Well, there is a metric called the RSI, Relative Strength Index, and this is the most oversold Bitcoin has been in over 300 days. I wanted to go into the charts. I wanted to double check myself. I wasn't just going to take that for granted. So we went into TradingView here. This bottom chart is the RSI, and I'll be, hey, what do you know? This is the lowest it has been in 300 days. Last time it was this low, it was August of last year. And then what happened then? Well, we kind of traded sideways, folks. But after we traded sideways, you can see here, traded sideways about 23 days. And then you can see a little bit of an uptrend start. And then 55, 56 days later, that's when we ended up getting the insane mega run for Bitcoin, where we ended up jumping 175%. So right now, seeing this RSI oversold means the markets are too fearful and it's oversold. And it looks like, hey, this could be a good catalyst for Bitcoin to bounce.
Alex goes, I was just kidding. Now, Alex Green, I know you were. He goes, if you scroll up, he's like $900,000. But we got a lot of great price, 99999. So maybe not hit it, but 85K, 94K from Seth Shepard. Kelly Kellum, we got the TA expert down here saying 97K. R.A. Daniel, 106, 107 from Drew. Samir, 85K.
Ooh,
Tahano,
bearish one. We got a bearish one.
Black Swan coming soon, saying 35K, which brings us up to a follow-up question here from Bob from accounting here. Our accountant is coming out saying, Josh, what if a Black Swan were to take place? And this is going to be kind of it's a controversial statement, but I think if a Black Swan were to occur, yes, you would have an immediate pullback, but it's going to be incredibly bullish for Bitcoin because what is your Black Swan? Obviously, you can't predict a Black Swan. That is the purpose of a Black Swan. If you can't predict that at all, but that would more than likely be a World War III. So that would be maybe Russia invading Poland or something like that. That would incite more fear into the markets and get a massive pullback. But no matter what, guys, if you look throughout what happens in war, why do we have war? If you go back to 1971, ever since we came off the gold standard, you had the military-industrial complex kind of embedded in the 1950s to 1963. There's a lot of, conversations around, of course, the, Cuba Missile Crisis with JFK. You guys know the whole story, right? What happens in war? It's an excessive amount of money printing. It's actually incredibly bullish. So you get that first pullback. At this point in the world where we have this global capitalistic society, we've embedded all these economic hitman policies. You see what happens when the World Bank, the IMF, steps in and gives this loan shark kind of play with these markets. It causes hyperinflation in every other country. So if we do get a black swan, I think we are only one black swan left away from people being forced to now have to adopt a decentralized platform. That is Bitcoin. You've seen it in El Salvador. You see it in Honduras. You see it in even Central African Republic. You're starting to see a lot of second and third world countries starting to embed it. That's by no fault. The reason for that is because they are so indebted to either China or the United States. They have no way out. So the fact that they could take geothermal energy from their volcanoes or solar panels or hydroelectricity and take that excess energy and convert it into a net value, it's their only option out. So if we get a black swan, I'd be more worried about the dollar and our banking system than I would be about Bitcoin and obviously altcoins would get decimated. Altcoins are done.
So you're saying invest in a Bitcoin mining chip manufacturer?
Chip manufacturers,
that seems to be the big winner here.
Semiconductors, I think, are going to become a digital commodity as well. I think that is, I've been saying that for a long time.
That's the same Altman says too.
Yeah, they're starting to jump on that. And that need's going to just increase more and more. So,
dude,
I don't know.
You guys are talking about important stuff. Like, this is financially focused. Like, I prepare, and it taught me a great lesson. When COVID happened, I already had thousands of dollars of toilet paper and food. I did not need to go spend a dime at the grocery store getting ready. I instead used all of that money to buy $4,000 Bitcoin and $180 Ethereum and sat on it into the markets and changed my family's life while everything was going down the drain. Yeah. You can sit in the wings and be prepared for these things and then take advantage of the market when it does.
Really, Drew's missed opportunity was not reselling the toilet paper at inflated prices. That's what you should have done. We have Nate 707, the $2 super chat. Could you give me your opinion on Quant? I'm guessing that's like a cheeky spelling, or is that like just a meme coin or alt version of Quant?
K. They want K. You got any hookups? Do you got any hookups?
I don't.
They watched the debate last night and they're like, man, I want whatever that guy's having. That's what they wanted there. I don't know if he meant Quant as in Quant, the SaaS model platform with Gilbert Verdian, or if he meant like a meme coin. If you want to pull that up, we can take a look into it. But yeah, moving on here, guys. Very bullish things looking in the market here. So we have Jelly here on Twitter, which is a great TA trader. If you guys don't follow him, go check him out. Looks like Bitcoin is finally starting to break free from its downtrend, stronger, higher low locked in, and price is flipping the immediate trend back to bullish with the MACD in bullish territory as well. So we have seen the first higher low potentially created. We would love to see us overtake at $63,400 if we can close on that. Markets are going to be looking like a very strong trend reversal here moving into July. Johnny Woo here. We shouldn't ignore one important indicator, Bitcoin monthly RSI. To be honest, it looks scary. This is coming from we're looking at 2020. This is 2014, 2025.
It's two different stories. We look at the daily RSI. Oh my God, it's so bullish. We look at the monthly RSI. That's a little bit of a lagging indicator. So I wouldn't even say you could judge what the monthly RSI is going to do now until like 2 weeks later. And then it's already a lagging indicator. So, but yeah.
Well, I would point out is like, look at this, like 2017, right? We broke out above it. We came back below. Yeah, like we did break through this, the massive SMA there. But I mean, again, if you're looking, I don't know. This one's interesting because if you're looking at 2020, right, the dip, we broke below it and then we ended up rebounding above it. Again, we broke below it a little bit here in 2020. This is what I would pay attention to is right here. Like, there was a massive bear trap in 2023 when we're at $30,000 Bitcoin. We came back down to 25K.
Yeah, they're smoking crack. I'm looking here.
They're smoking crack. I would have. This is so inactive. It's like 50-50. It's 50-50 chance out there, guys. Flip a quarter.
All right, so there are some pullback. There's one pullback essentially, right? Going above the 70 line. So the 70 and the 30 are kind of like important zones for the RSI. Going above the 70 line, yeah, that's when all the fun starts. Go above the 70 line, yeah, that's when all the fun starts. There was one pullback after we went above the fun zone. And yeah, we had one red month. And then it was just a bunch of green
What about
months.
it's like every single bull run we've had this in crazy bullish, like it goes to set 80, 85, 90. And we haven't even, so does that mean we're halfway into the bull run?
I mean, there's some charts they're saying like for altcoins and stuff, we still got like 400 days of fun activity.
To be honest, it looks scary. Next month's candle must be green. Wow. Johnny Woo, you're very insightful. Thank you. We're good there. I'm just gonna shout out we just trashed on that for no reason.
Johnny, you're a good guy.
Johnny, be bullish. Bitcoin miner sell pressure weakening as Bitcoin withdrawals drop 85%. Bitcoin withdrawals from miner affiliated wallets have gone from above 50,000 to a day to under 10,000 since the halving data shows. Bitcoin miner withdrawals have decreased by nearly 90% since the time of the block subsidy halving, of course, in April. We have, after the Bitcoin halving, mining rewards were cut in half. So older model mining machines were no longer used and they were no longer cost effective. Also, what happens when AI is integrated into these miners as well? It's going to be a stronger need for this. But the current market can be seen as being in the process of digesting the sell-off. Unfortunately, the quantity and number of Bitcoin miners are setting out their wallets have rapidly decreased recently. So according to CryptoQuant data, this peak number of withdrawals of known miner wallets at more than $53,000 on April 10th. Since then, that figure has slashed to around 8,000 as of June 27th, an 85% decrease. What are your thoughts on miners selling? Because, of course, this is historical. Every time we have a Bitcoin halving, miners upgrade. Right?
Yeah,
you usually see a washout. You usually see mergers and acquisitions takes place. We've seen probably 5 or 6 of those actually happen on a smaller scale. And I think you have, is it Marathon opening up a bunch now in Georgia?
Yeah, Marathon just recently made some moves. Also, Marathon, signaled that they're going to start mining Caspa.
Yes.
So we might actually... There might be a whole new ecosystem, a whole new paradigm shift that we're not talking about. Back in the day, I try to stop saying that. Bitcoin miners, all right, it doesn't really do anything. You try to sell it on eBay to some sucker, right? You sell like 100 of them to some other sucker. Well, now this old Bitcoin mining equipment might just start mining Caspa or start mining some of these other proof of work coins. And now that's when maybe the selling pressure decreases because now you can actually do something after the Bitcoin halving with your old rigs. It's actually going to help Bitcoin sell, reduce Bitcoin sell pressure every halving.
We have, my bad, I'm an idiot. Quenta is what he was.
Quenta says Nate Sevens. Okay,
Quenta with an A. We haven't integrated, but yeah, I would agree. And guys, you got minor sell-offs are just normal, and you're going to see it every single Bitcoin cycle. That's why we get that first pullback every single time. It's like been known. But you want to look at Hut 8, you want to look at Marathon, you want to look at Riot, right? There's been a lot of top performers. I honestly think those are going to continue to crush it moving into 2025 specifically. We have Bitcoin futures leverage ratio, sharp June fluctuation hints at market deleverage phase. This is happening today with the options expiring, all right? We have Bitcoin futures estimated leverage ratio indicates shifts in market sentiment. Since January of 2024, so this year, guys, the ratio exhibited volatility, initially fluctuating around 0.17 before rising to 0.216 in early June. This increase coincided with Bitcoin's price moving back towards $60,000. However, a sharp decline in the ratio and price was observed just after, suggesting a potential deleveraging phase among traders as Bitcoin continued downward. So this is actually very healthy for these markets. We had an overall high anticipation to the upside. We broke to all-time highs at $72,000. This happens every single time. Why aren't people buying at 15K, at 30K, at 45K, at 65K? Why were they all jumping in at $72,000 at all-time high greed, at all-time high prices, at all-time high leverage, right? Everybody is greedy. Now we've been consolidating for over 100 days at previous all-time highs, which is incredibly healthy for markets. You have institutions establishing spot ETFs. You have an Ethereum ETF being released right around the corner. Regulations are incredibly bullish, incentivizing builders now to come back to the States here. And now we have even presidential candidates fighting for that regulation, fighting for that regulatory clarity so we can actually incentivize entrepreneurs to build, because this is a massive tech sector, right? So seeing this deleveraging is overall incredibly bullish in my perspective, because it's wiping out all of the weak hands that refuse to admit that this was not over. You even have Dave Portnoy now finally coming back in, right? This is someone that bought the top, sold the bottom like 3 different times, right? Continues to buy the top, sell the bottom. We'll be like, Bitcoin's dead. It's historically been announced dead.
Let me sell my Bitcoin and buy a bunch of Safe Moon instead.
Oh, God, you had to bring that one up.
Pain.
Oh, that is some pain there.
Quenta, let me just say this, Nate. I want it to have more engagement on its socials. And Hakash coin, I'm guessing that's also a proof of work. What the heck is Try? That's the currency.
Try $22?
They're like turkeys. Turkey has a lira, though.
Is that a $22 super chat?
No, it's 22 tries, TRYs. I'll look it up.
Yeah, you gotta look that. I have no idea. I'm trying to understand is what you're trying to say here. Well, what do you got back there, Drew? You got something?
I think I'm sitting here just kind of stewing on the combination of what you guys just said. You're talking about proof of work making a comeback.
Yes.
AI taken over really a lot of what we're going to be seeing on the upside for the S&P 500, what's holding up the S&P 500 and the revenues there. I've always had this thought that proof of work would be the more preferable currency to be able to pay out AI systems. It's a proof of computational power that's been proven. And I think AI is smart enough to understand fiat is useless. So I think that in 10, 20 years time, we could be forced to pay out proof of work type systems to AI to keep it working for us.
I honestly think that the government should give carbon credits to these platform providers, because this is something, and chat may not know this, but I immediately related to Drew one of the first times we came out here, because we were talking about marginal cost of production and the development of how Bitcoin mining is actually sustainable for markets. It can sustain power grids. You can convert landfill like methane emissions, flare gas. You could take negative energy and waste out there and convert it into a net value. You can also do the same thing with AI computational. So like if you need these massive data facilities, and it's like actually my dad, who's even watching us here live today, he's been in these data facilities. They manage to see all these data servers. It consumes a disgusting amount of energy. If you can use what is wasted energy, you have OPEC, one of the dirtiest corrupted organizations out there that overproduce oil at a magnitude consistently every single day, each and every single year. And you're never going to change that, right? They have a certain value, certain thresholds they have to meet. If you can convert all this wasted energy into net values in all these second, third world countries, it can bring an insane amount of GDP growth to both tech companies, to local states, to local communities, incentivize job development. There's a lot of value. It will
literally save lives by reducing rolling blackouts.
It's
rolling
true
blackouts
ESG.
Kills people. And so, it's literally, it sounds weird and trite, but Bitcoin, it literally saves lives.
But now you're starting to see that, right? We now have the World Economic Forum going, oh, we were wrong. You have Greta Thunberg, who literally decimated Germany and was like, we don't need nuclear. And then they're like, oh shoot, that was all of our energy. What do we do? We got to rely on Russia with the Nord Stream? No,
meanwhile,
that blew up.
China's building one a week or something like that. Like, God,
did you see the bridge China just built?
Oh yeah.
I'll my God, world's tallest. They did this just cause they were just like, you know what? It's insane. I want to see a picture of this because
no, is that it?
That's probably another one.
No, this is a different one. That's just super.
That's just
awesome
another one.
cool.
They have just another. No, look up world's tallest bridge, China. It's actually, you can have semi trucks drive over it. It's thousands of feet in the air, and it goes across two different. I really don't know why they think they built it just because they wanted to show they could build shit. The tweet I saw was,
it's in the
how
clouds.
Newsom, we've spent 18. Yeah. So here's another one for Newsom, guys. We've spent $18 billion on the super rail in California to get done. We've built maybe less than, it's less than a square mile that we've built out. It's cost us already billions of dollars. And China did this in a year.
Yeah. Pretty concerning.
Now, of course, they're communists and there's probably slaves that built it.
People fall.
Hope
not.
Look at that. That is insane.
Yeah.
Imagine, I'm never driving over that, by the way. Never. Not after I watch the, well, maybe, I don't know. There's not a ship that's going to crash into it.
565 meters from the ground, about 1,600 feet more, closer to 1,700 feet.
I wonder if it does like this while you're on it. I'd feel so sketchy. Well, speaking of sketchy, let's look at the fear and greed index here, which we've all been observing. It is so obvious, that you wanted to buy in the bottom, right? You want to buy in the red, sell in the green. Buy in the red, sell in the green. We're looking for 2019 to 2024 here. Of course, guys, you want to be focusing when we're in the red. You guys, we use this all the time, right? I have FOMO. We released this. This is one of our other companies, which is a fear and greed index tool. Version 2 actually might be launching today. So get excited. We're integrating Duke. There's a lot of really cool things that are coming to this platform. But guys, you want to buy when it's in the red. You want to set dollar cost average in the orange. You want to take or hodl in the light green and sell or take profits in the dark green. And of course, it's not financial advice, but historically, guys, that is what works every single time. If you use the historical data and you run through this and you look throughout history, every time it's in the red, check this out on the chart. We embedded this on the website for you guys. Every time you look at red in the chart, that was a time to buy. When it hits dark green, that's when you want to take profits and exit the market. Now, we've entered dark red for the first time in a long time. And of course, we have institutions now. We have a lot more money in the game. We have trillions of dollars flooding in through this. We have billions and billions pouring into spot ETFs. We have more and more opening up each and every single day. But it does go to show that when you're in that very extreme fear category, that is when you want to tend to start entering these markets. We have 3 Bitcoin metrics. And by the way, if you want to put FOMO.io in the chat, guys, go check it out. It has 42 separate altcoins on the market. You have a 4-hour chart, 24-hour chart, 1-hour chart, 15-minute chart. And if you guys, it's completely free to sign up for the first 30 days. It's free to use for Bitcoin and Ethereum. But if you want to see it on XRP, Cardano, Ondo, Chainlink, Polkadot, even Bitcoin Cash, you can go ahead and sign up for that edition. And you'll notice that we use actually different indicators. So it's not like all these other websites where it's the same exact metric on every single altcoin. We're using different volatility metrics.
When Duke?
When Duke?
Might be today, might be tomorrow, might be never. I can't tell you. I
Okay,
can't
all right.
tell you, but
know
get
people want
excited here. And I got to re-update and sign back in, so it won't log in and show the actual update. But make sure you guys log in, check out the Fear and Greed X store for you guys today. 3 Bitcoin metrics are flashing bullish signals for Bitcoin coming out from Vanik executive Matthew here in a new interview with Scott Melker. Shout out to Scott Melker. Vanik head of digital assets Matthew Siegel says recent indicators are making him more bullish on Bitcoin. This is an institution, guys. This is an institution. This isn't some random crazy guy under the bridge, right? This is an institution. According to Siegel, the metrics that he sees flashing bullish for Bitcoin are realized losses, volatility, and drawdown. So, this is coming from, again, that pullback, max fear. The volatility is decreasing. Volume is, actually, he doesn't even talk about volume, but I think volume is going to start building back in, especially with the Ethereum launch of the ETF. These are things that are right around the corner. Gary Gensler was very, very bullish on, he said it's going very well. We should get that maybe estimations around the first week of July. I don't know if you guys covered that this week, but if there's an actual date, you can let me know.
Yeah, a little bit. With that July 2nd ETF, ETH news, there's going to be a lot of movement in the markets. And only 30 days in June, folks, less than a week away right now.
30 days in June. Stop scaring me. What happened to this year? What happened to this year?
Yeah, we are 2 days away from 2024 being halfway done.
Starting next month, I'm going to say I'm getting married next month.
Hey.
That is weird. That is
the
weird.
good news is we're almost, I think we're getting closer to the real juicy part of the bull market, man. We've been hodling and fighting the time and going through all the FUD. Here we are. So.
And then parabolic monthly candles. That's what I'm really waiting for.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for just up only. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, but I believe it's coming right around the corner again. And we've been crushing this entire cycle
and
here.
when we're up only, there's going to be people buying Bitcoin at $100,000. I think this, what movie is this from? I can't remember, but when Bitcoin is 100K and everyone comes back for advice, Patrick Bateman, this is the price you deserve.
That's American
Michael
Psycho.
Saylor quote.
I think it's American Psycho.
It is American Psycho.
Yeah.
I was just joking.
It's honestly
Anyway.
my favorite show ever.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. It's what kind of business cards do you have there, Drew?
Well, I do have a giveaway announcement for everybody to chat, guys. $500 to one lucky winner. And if you can actually go to my Twitter and share this in the chat for everybody. But guys, guess what? Shout out to everybody holding Duke out there. You guys have built this in community. It's been awesome. CoinW is going to be listing the token. And in partnership, we're doing a partnership with CoinW. I've launched a brand new free Telegram. We're going to be doing live trading. We do signals, updates, all my buy, my sell orders, all that stuff is happening in this Telegram right now. But we're doing a $500 giveaway and a Duke giveaway on CoinW itself. So if you want to go attend that, guys, everybody is going. The first 250 people to sign up for CoinW, about 114 have already done it. We're already halfway there, so make sure you do so. They're going to qualify for a Duke airdrop. So make sure you're one of those first 250 people to do it. But if you guys go like, retweet, comment, and join that Telegram, you have your opportunity to win $500 by the end. I think it's Thursday or Friday next week.
And this airdrop is different than like seagulls taking a doo-doo on your head. This is a different Duke airdrop.
Yes, exactly. And it's going to be more of a giveaway for those holders. We're going to be doing cash incentives and stuff like that through CoinW. So very exciting. Lots of volume coming to Duke holders. And we also have breaking news. I'm going to announce this, guys. The trading bot should be ready by next week.
Oh, you're getting a Duke trading bot?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's that
Yes,
next level
sir.
for meme coins.
Oh,
That's pretty
yes.
Good, actually. That's
Oh,
actually
yes.
pretty bullish.
And it's really cool. And I'm going to save the announcement. There's something really cool part of this tool. But I'm going to be showing you guys how to actually trade meme coins the right way. Because guess what? If you're using MetaMask or Phantom to trade meme coins, or just trading the market overall, you're getting front ran by 99% of the industry. Because the majority of successful traders, guys, I'm talking the hedge funds. I'm talking the traders that are making all the money. They're using Telegram trading bots. I'm going to show you how to do that in this Telegram. So you have to join that Telegram. Go check it out. Go apply. Go get excited. And I'll see you in there later today. But the whale who earned more than $1 billion in Bitcoin returned to the market. He made $2 million transactions in 1 week. Here's the profit loss situation. The smart giant whale, a blue whale is what we call these guys. These are billionaires trading Bitcoin, guys. We track these wallets because when you see billionaires selling, that usually gives you a signal of, okay, there might be some headwinds ahead of us here. But the smart giant whale, which earned more than $1 billion by selling its Bitcoins during the rise of 2023 and 2024, has finally returned. The whale who bought 6,000 Bitcoins worth $400 million during the last market decline after 1.5 years deposited $1,200 worth of Bitcoin to Binance a few hours ago. Yikes. The whale also holds 10.149 Bitcoin, worth approximately $622 million. So there was a bit of, they added it to an exchange. Are they going to buy altcoins with it?
Ooh.
What are they going to do with this? Are they ready
Swapping
for
into ETH?
maybe ETH for the ETF that's coming? I don't know, but I would say that alt season is about to take place.
Yeah.
I think the Ethereum spot ETF is going to bring billions. It's already estimated by institutions, guys. Billions of dollars are going to pour into Ethereum ETFs. And of course, what happens, guys, is the flow of the money chart. Let me pull it up. Flow of money, crypto. I love these charts. So if you guys are brand new to crypto, if you didn't know, this is how it tends to work in these markets. Because you got to think of blockchain as kind of like real estate. It's a layer, and there's a bunch of different companies and stuff built on top of that land. And so when you look at this chart right here, when you have money flow into Bitcoin, it tends to then fall into large caps. Right now, I do believe we're about to enter the large cap category. So say Ethereum does a 100% gain. Well, now all those profits that are made within that ecosystem, generally you're going to have like Ethereum payouts from staking, et cetera. All that revenue starts to get embedded more into the DeFi. You start to see that flow of capital move from ETH, especially as trading pairs. That's how trading pairs work. You see that move of capital move into the altcoins, a part of the ERC ecosystem. So we could be seeing either one, maybe the whale sale needs to take a profit, or two, getting ready for the next wave as the Ethereum ETFs are released in the next 10 to 14 business days.
All right, we have another, much love, Nasty, reading a couple, made a lot of people talking about the altcoins out there, Supreme Court out there, and just a lot of people feeling bullish like Talon is right now.
Bullish.
Yeah, I'm very bullish on altcoins. We did cover, a lot of these altcoin trading pairs are going to blow up. Kind of covered that 2 days ago. We got a video coming out this weekend where I talk about two strong top 15 altcoins. Looking at these Bitcoin trading pairs, these two coins are about to explode.
Well, before I cover my favorite altcoins right now, there is something that we need to cover, and we have to ask chat. Type 1 in chat if you have yourself an Arculus wallet. Type 2 if you don't. Because, guys, today's video in stream is always partnered and sponsored by, of course, our partner over at Arculus, One Tap Total Security, which is going to be the best hardware wallet in One Tap Total Security for you, your family, your friends, etc., all in the markets, guys. If you do not have self-custody, you do not own your own crypto. Not your keys, not your crypto. If you have it on an exchange, you see what happens in every single bear market. I know so many people that lost thousands, if not millions of dollars on FTX, right? Get your crypto off exchanges, and the best way to do so is by buying on CoinW, but more importantly, moving it over to your Arculus here for you guys. So if you haven't checked this out, let's turn those twos into ones. You can use code DC10 to get 10% off your hardware wallet today. And if you guys aren't already going to be in Bitcoin Nashville next month, come check us out. We're going to be with Arculus in Bitcoin Nashville, showing you guys things. So if you want meet me or DZ or anybody at the team, we're going to be there flashing our cards around, showing everybody our seed phrases.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
We're gonna be sharing that.
Yeah, I might even try to ride the Bitcoin bull.
Ooh, that might be fun. That might be fun. Have you guys attempted that yet?
Never.
No,
Nope.
never yet.
Did.
JJ
did it with Oculus goggles and said,
No way.
I'm riding the bull in the metaverse," or something like that. Like screamed it. Brian.
Did he last long?
It was the whole thing. No, not at all. He fell immediately.
It was immediate. Well, hey, let's jump over to BlackRock news here today, guys. BlackRock has said Bitcoin is a hedge against geopolitical uncertainty and monetary risk. Check out this 2-minute clip from BlackRock because this is interesting.
Mara, so great to catch up. It feels like every time we're talking these days, it's a conversation about digital assets. I'm not complaining though. It's an exciting time.
I totally agree because so much has been happening, whether it's developments in liquidity provision or infrastructure in the ecosystem or public policy. There has been a huge amount happening in digital assets, of course, leading to the launch of Bitcoin ETFs. So Jay, since we launched IBIT this year, what are you and the team hearing from investors?
We've been having great dialogues with investors from everyone who's new to the digital asset space.
And before he says this, let me just remind everybody, this is the world's largest financial institution. We're talking trillions of dollars, and they're talking about Bitcoin being a hedge against geopolitical uncertainty. Like, can we get some W's in the chat? Does that deserve some W's?
I mean, BlackRock is a global company.
How's that crypto thing going? Pretty fucking well.
I almost feel like BlackRock is signaling to their international investors, stop putting money in the U.S.
I know, like, why hold the dollar?
To those who have been investing in it for a long time. I think the commonality in these conversations is just how convenient Bitcoin ETFs are in bringing access.
What a weak man voice, says Bob from accounting. Okay.
Yeah, someone goes, but God, this is bad acting. Hey, they're trying. They're trying, okay?
The space. I'm interested to hear your view of the markets. How is investor participation changing in the space?
So to your point, Jay,
he's probably a very nice gentleman, okay?
He loves oat milk.
Oh, come on. Oat milk?
Yeah, I said it.
Raw, like raw oat milk, or
Yeah, no, I want to with all the seed oils injected.
you think he eats eggs raw?
Is there another way to eat eggs?
He has Raisin Bran, Wonder Bread.
He dips his.
What did you
Wonder
guys
Bread in
tell me
water.
that when everybody was
Dips your
trashing me
Wonder
the other
Bread in
day? They're
water.
like, Josh probably dips his Wonder Bread in water.
Yeah.
Because I have a weak stomach. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got roasted for that. Thank you for that one. That's my dad's back here. He that's genetics there. Yes.
Or you can be like Tesla. Towards the end of his life, he subsided on warm milk and crackers.
I can't go to bed if I don't have warm milk and crackers.
Just warm milk
Yeah,
and
animal crackers though. I like the elephants are the best cracker.
No, saltines with the salt off.
All right, we're gonna stop trashing this
That's
poor
too much
man.
seasoning
He
otherwise.
is very bullish on Bitcoin and crypto. Like we gotta guys give the
You can't see this, but his parents are cracking up right now, talking about his weak stomach. They're like, I
Yo!
know we gave it to you.
Well, you know what's not weak? iShares, damn it. Okay. We have Bitcoin pumping because of this. Let's listen.
Danger with ETFs coming into the Bitcoin space because now investors can access Bitcoin same way they could buy stocks and
Where does it
bonds
go?
through a conversation with their advisors or in their online brokerage platform. And so now they can buy Bitcoin in that
Dude, I can't get out of this. Guys, let me go. I don't have a week. I'm strong. Okay. I can eat a jalapeno.
Yeah.
Someone said, don't blame your dad.
He can eat
Take
a fistful of
responsibility for your life.
thumbtacks, all right. He'll eat a fistful of thumbtacks if you challenge him.
Wait, what?
way.
That's Josh's brother from. Okay, we're not even watching this anymore. You know what? You guys go look it up on Twitter. Okay? You don't get to hear the bullish news. Newly proposed stacked ETF wants to give investors
that was
leverage.
Josh's bully in middle school.
Yeah, it is my brother. that was me in another life. Bolivia just unbanned Bitcoin. Another country realized that you can't ban Bitcoin. Wow, makes sense here, guys. Chinese government urged to reconsider crypto mining ban. What are they coming back out again? Influential voices within academia. Yeah,
I like it. It really.
Hold up.
What
Let's
do
look
I
at
always
this.
say? I always say follow the money. China missed out on $4 billion in tax revenue from crypto mining. So that's really the end of, that's the story right there.
So well, wait, one more time.
China misses out on tax revenue by kicking out Bitcoin mining.
$4 billion in tax revenue to the United States economy.
Hey,
is
I
what they're
wanted
paying.
that tax revenue.
Give me that money. Yeah, but they've already seen what happens when they, they try banning it, which they're one of the largest miners again. So is this confirmation that they unbanned it? So they're trying to ban it again, even though I'm pretty sure crypto mining is banned. What is happening over in China? We don't know what's happening in those markets.
It does seem like there's a couple provinces where the ban isn't quite a ban.
It's not. They're just
And, high energy rich areas too.
Makes complete
and a
sense.
lot of hydroelectric power where you get really cheap electricity, and maybe it's
world's cheapest Bitcoin mining.
And maybe CCP is just self-custodying it and hodling.
Yeah, they're like, hey, that's insane to watch here. Asian currencies hit 19-month low. Viva Leverage Group CEO, guys, another reason why to pick up Bitcoin here. What else we got up in here today? Because I wanted to get into altcoins here. Coinbase sued. We already talked about this with the SEC. Set up for high-quality altcoins looking increasingly favorable as global liquidity gears up. I'm going to pull up one of my favorite altcoins here, guys. I think one of the best picks right now in this market condition is going to be, yes, Ondo. Because guys, check this out. I haven't been here all week.
It's on sale today.
I haven't been
down
I haven't been
about
here.
5.5%. I don't know what it's down right now.
It's down 2.9. It's at
Okay,
$1.14.
okay.
It's been hovering around here for like the last 7 days or so. But if we go to RWXYZ, I want to click on US Treasuries because I haven't done this in a week, and usually we check this every single day. So I'm gonna hope we're over. Are we over 2 billion yet?
Let's see.
1.77 billion. So not quite yet there, but we are still moving up and to the right here. And of course, if you're looking at holders, almost 4,000 hold. Wow, we saw this break 3,000 like a week ago. So 4,000 holders now for Ondo's US dollar yield. We're seeing more and more adoption, over $500 million in total value locked on that network. And they're allowing you to fractionalize and pretty much take advantage of US Treasuries. And being BIDL's largest partner, which is, of course, BlackRock, guys, I expect some announcement in the next year or so when they actually go join one of these, maybe it's at CME Group's convention. I expect Ondo to be in those key events. Maybe we'll see a public panel speak sometimes in 2024. I just don't see a world where they don't actually talk to their largest partner. It makes no sense to me.
It wouldn't make
or
any
client,
sense.
I guess you would say. Right?
So that would suggest, if they are talking, they're just keeping it under wraps.
And imagine if that news gets out.
The wallet creation, what if it's just Larry Fink's stepson who's
He's just making new
opening
meta-
a bunch of wallets for an airdrop that he has inside
He's like, make us look good, make us look good. Well, guys, that is what we got for you guys today. So make sure you guys smash that like button.
I'm going to do a member stream. Drew, do you have time? 10:15?
Yeah, TJ is going to be here.
Oh, I like that. We're going to give our takes on the debate, maybe. Some of the stuff we can't say on this channel.
Can't say it. It's got to be here afterwards on the members only, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys go subscribe, get that membership, and we'll see you in a few moments.